Let's practice your listening and comprehension. In this lesson, we are going to be practicing your listening. I am going to tell you a story. You're going to listen to the story, and after you listen, I am going to give you some questions to answer. This will test your listening and your comprehension. But also, in this story, I will be using some slang words and some idioms. So make sure you watch until the very end, because after you do the questions, I will explain all of the slang words and the idioms. So watch until the end. So this story is actually a part 2 of a story. If you haven't listened to part 1 of the story, go back and through my videos and you'll find another listening test there, and it's part 1 of this story. This story is all about one of the best trips I've ever taken in my life. If you remember in that story, I started my trip off in Vegas. I went all the way up north into Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming, and I went to Yellowstone National Park. And when I left off in that story, I had already made my way over to Mount Rushmore, which was in South Dakota. So this story, we're going to pick it up from Mount Rushmore. So as I said in the first video, in the first part of the story, Mount Rushmore was amazing. You know, to see these 4 presidents, their faces, their busts sculpted into the mountain was definitely an amazing sight. In the first part of the story, in the other video I already took, I asked everyone a bonus question. I asked everyone if they knew the names of the 4 presidents who were carved in Mount Rushmore. Someone did answer, and they did answer correctly, but just for the rest of you, the 4 presidents who are carved up in Mount Rushmore are Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt, and Jefferson. Question 1. What did I eat at Mount Rushmore? A. A bison burger and fries. B. A hot dog and chili. C. A bison hot dog and bison chili. D. A bison hot dog and bison chili fries. 2. Did I like the bison meat? A. Yes. B. No. 3. When did they start building Crazy Horse? A. 1948. B. 1940. C. 1908. D. 1914. 4. What was the most beautiful state I drove through? A. South Dakota. B. North Dakota. C. Montana. D. Wyoming. 5. What was the name of the fast food restaurant I went to? A. McDonald's. B. Sonic. C. Carl's Jr. D. Jack in the Box. 6. Who served me at the fast food restaurant? A. A waiter. B. A waitress. C. A car hop. D. A roller skating car hop. After a full morning and afternoon of looking all over Mount Rushmore and exploring the park, I was super hungry. You know, my stomach was growling, and I knew that before I became hangry, I needed to get something to eat. When I walked into the only cafe that was at Mount Rushmore, I noticed that they had some local specialties written on the menu board. In that area in South Dakota, or in Mount Rushmore, one of the local specialties is bison meat. I don't know if you've ever had bison meat. I had never eaten it before that day. So I thought, when in Rome, you must do as the Romans. So I ordered a bison hot dog and bison chili. You know, some people may like bison meat, but I have to be honest with everyone. I wasn't a big fan of it. It was just too gamey for me. But I did finish all of my food. I finished the bison hot dog and I finished the bison chili because you know what? I was starving. I was starving. I ate it all. After eating, I left Mount Rushmore and I went to another monument. There was another famous monument quite nearby Mount Rushmore. I drove, I think it was probably about an hour's drive away. And when I got to this next monument, it was also amazing. It was actually much bigger than Mount Rushmore. This monument was called Crazy Horse. The only downside of this was it wasn't finished. And in fact, it isn't even finished yet. They started building this monument, they started carving this monument in 1948, and they still haven't finished it yet. And they don't know when they will finish it. It is a huge project. And I hope, someday in the future, I can go back and see a finished product. After South Dakota, I decided to make my way back west. So, in order to do that, I had to go through Wyoming. And let me tell you, Wyoming is probably the most beautiful state I have ever driven through. It was as pretty as a picture. While I was driving in Wyoming, I got to a famous city called Cheyenne. And as I was driving through Cheyenne, I found an old school fast food joint that I had to try called Sonic. Living in LA, we didn't have a Sonic, but I'd always seen their commercials on TV. So I had always really wanted to go there. So when I saw that Sonic as I was driving, I was so pumped. I was so pumped because finally I could try the food that I had seen on all these commercials. Another reason why I was really stoked was because Sonic is famous for being a drive-in restaurant. Okay, not a drive-through. I know all of you have probably been through a drive-through where you drive through, you go to one window, you order, you go to another window, you get your food, and you leave. You're going through. This is not that. This is a drive-in restaurant. This is where you go, you park your car, and each parking stall has a intercom where you can order your food. There's a menu and an intercom, and you order your food. After you order your food, someone brings you your food. Now, usually in a restaurant, it's a waiter or waitress, but in a drive-in, it's called a car hop. And to make it even better, my car hop was a roller skating car hop. So my roller skating car hop, she roller skated with my food order and brought it to my car. This type of drive-in restaurant and roller skating car hops is really rare, even in the US. It was quite common in the 1930s or 1940s, but you don't really see these types of restaurants now. So I was so happy that I could actually experience this. And the food was actually really good as well. It was really good. I really did indulge. I got a bacon double cheeseburger. I got fries and a hot fudge diner style shake. If you ever get a chance to experience a drive-in, definitely do so. It is amazing. The food was really good. The experience was the best part. So I'm gonna end my story here. I'm still not done. That was part 2. There will be a part 3 as well. I'm leaving Wyoming, and I'll tell you about my next stop in the next video. Now, this will be a great chance for me to ask you, please subscribe to this channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Question 1. What did I eat at Mount Rushmore? I ate A bison hot dog and bison chili. Question 2. Did I like the bison meat? No. Question 3. When did they start building Crazy Horse? They started building Crazy Horse in 1948. Question 4. What was the most beautiful state I drove through? The most beautiful state I drove through was Wyoming. Question 5. What was the name of the fast food restaurant I went to? I went to Sonic. 6. Who served me at the fast food restaurant? A roller skating car hop. All right, I hope you guys got all of those questions correct. If you didn't, just rewatch the video and try listening again. Okay. As I promised at the very beginning of this video, there are some slang words that I used in this story, and there are some idioms. So let's go over those now. Number 1, hangry. Hangry means that I will become angry because I'm hungry. Number 2, pretty as a picture. This means something is very beautiful to look at. Number 3, old school. Old school means old-fashioned, but in a very positive and prideful way. Number 4, pumped. This means I am excited. And number 5, indulge. Indulge means I am choosing to eat or drink something that is usually not so good for me. Okay, so those were the 5 explanations for the slang and idiom words that I used in this story. Now, if you're still not sure what they mean, just ask me a question down in the comment section down below. And if there were any other words that you were not sure of, if you didn't catch a word, you're not sure what a word means, please ask me down in the comment section. I will definitely answer all of your questions. And remember, if you like this type of video, if you like listening practice, please subscribe to this channel. Give me a thumbs up, hit the notification bell. It really helps me out. It helps me make more content, and it's completely free. So subscribe now. And until the next lesson, remember there will be a part 3 to this story. Look out for that. See ya.